So I set my alarm for like 5 minutes to 11 so that I could scurry off into the break room and go buy yarn. Hello, my name is Louise and welcome to Adventures with Yarn. This is my knitting and crochet podcast in which I talk about knitting and crochet and show you the things that I have been knitting and crocheting, as well as other things that I might be crafting like cross stitch. If you're a new viewer, welcome. I'm so glad you took the time to come and check me out. If you're a returning subscriber, welcome back. I'm also super stoked that you're here. As always, if you like what you see, make sure to hit that thumbs up button and subscribe. Okay, so I have works in progress to show you. This has been a really fun couple of weeks for me. I have been really getting into my knitting. I've been working on things that make me really happy. A couple projects on the needles that are really like potato chippy, like I just keep going and I don't want to stop. And so let's talk about it. I do have some finished objects. So last time I podcasted, I was going to say last week. No, I've been doing it every other week schedule for now. The last time I podcasted, I was so excited for the makeover that I also posted on my personal Facebook. And I think that is why I have personal people in my life that personally want crocheted pumpkins of their own. So I made a couple more, the crocheted pumpkins. I told them I would see what I could do. I do have an Etsy shop. It's Adventures with Yarn. I don't sell a whole lot on there. So I might be putting some more pumpkins on there. The day before yesterday was Halloween, and so I don't know if people still want pumpkins, even though Halloween is done and over. I mean, you know, it's definitely still fall. You've got Thanksgiving. The pumpkins still fit into that, you know, decorative theme. So people might. I was really excited about this color, this golden type color. This is definitely bargain yarn. I don't remember buying this color. I definitely had to have bought it when I was very first learning to knit. I have only used this once. I mean, I think on the rack, this is not that quite of an appealing color. I did have a friend who wanted a knitted hat for the team that he was coaching, and the colors were like maroon and gold, and so I did knit a hat with this color yarn striped with the maroon. And that's the only time that I ever used this, and it's been hanging out in my stash. But then I saw it and I thought, oh my gosh, for pumpkins, yes, that's gonna work perfect. And it did. I really like how this worked up. I think I will for sure use this color again and make some more. So this is a pattern I found on Pinterest. And I went and bought some actual cinnamon sticks to use as the stem, wrap it up with some twine. This is a really nice pattern. It's a crochet pattern meant to look like it's knitted. So it's got that kind of knitted texture. Filled it with some polyfill. Really fun. This one in particular is 2 strands of worsted weight held together to make the bulky weight of the yarn. This other pumpkin is straight up bulky yarn. This is some yarn I had hanging out in my stash waiting to be used. I want to say Lion brand. This one was for sure Red Heart Super Saver yarn. This was some Lion brand, some sort of chunky wool like yarn. And as you can see, it kind of switches. On the rack also, this definitely looked like something that I thought could look cool. I didn't anticipate the chunks of stripes. I was definitely thinking like, oh, this is going to be like a cool Halloweeny Beetlejuice type look. I'm still here for it. I'm still here for it with the chunks of the stripes. I don't think it's bad. I don't think it's too bad. But I may put this on the Etsy shop also to a good home. Whoever wants to pay for it, give it a good home. Maybe it will be a nice decoration, maybe for next Halloween, or if you feel like this could still fall in fall decorations, then that's that. Okay, so let's talk about works in progress. I have this project. This is so stinking cute. All right, this is Ellen's Playset by PetiteKnits. Last time I podcasted, this was hardly even on the needles, and now here we are. So this is a little cardigan. How cute is this? A little cardigan for my baby niece. Like I said, last time I just had this little ribbing up here on the needles, and it's a paid for pattern, I do believe. Yes. So I will try not to give too much away, but it is top down, raglan, increases. It's got this adorable little eyelet design on it. And I think that's what kind of helps make it so fun to keep going. Like, it's a four row repeat for the eyelets. So fairly easy to memorize once you get into the pattern, the hang of it. It's also pretty intuitive, and I love that kind of pattern where you can kind of start to memorize the pattern and you can tell where you're supposed to be based on where you've already been, where things are. That definitely made me nervous because you can see how the eyelets are really nice and evenly spaced. So that really helps with that you can tell where you're supposed to be. So you can tell where you'll make your eyelet so that it lines up with every other one. So it's not just all pattywampus and whatever. This is made with the Stroll yarn, Stroll Glimmer from Knit Picks in the colorway Blush. I just love this color. I cannot wait to see my little baby niece in this. As you can see, I have made the body, and now I need to make the sleeves. The sleeves will be made individually in the round, just casting on from here, made in the round. And then I also need to knit the button bands on the front of these. On the front here, it kind of curls without it. I'll have to block this too after I put the button bands on, and sew on some little buttons. I haven't chosen any yet. I have to pick out something really cute. But yeah, this has been really fun. I can't believe I got this much progress done on it. I just didn't want to put it down. And of course we got the ribbing down here. So maybe this will be finished by next episode. Who knows? Okay. The next project I have is something I did not show you last episode. I think I only just cast this on a couple days ago. And what it is the Hearten One Cowl by Helen, Stewart of Curious Handmade. I'm a big fan of Helen's patterns. I love knitting socks from the Handmade Sock Society, and I love having like slow release patterns, like patterns that you pay for, up front, and then they slowly come out. So this is a cowl, and it is part of her Knit Vent pattern collection. So what Knit Vent is a collection of patterns that you buy, and they slowly come out. I think it might be the month of November and into December. Anyways, this is the first pattern that has come out, and it is a great pattern to utilize your mini skeins from an advent calendar. It's got little sections of color, and you're supposed to, the pattern calls for 24 different mini skeins or different colors. You definitely don't have to use 24 colors. Some people are only using like 5 colors, or I suppose if you wanted to, you could use just one solid color. It's a fingering weight yarn, is what it calls for. And let me show you this so far. This is really fun. So we have the first section is this knitted rib, and this is from a mini skein of mine. I pulled it out of my bag of mini skeins. Basically, you might already know that I have been using my mini skeins for a Attic 24 striped crochet, granny stripe blanket. And I really like that, and so I'm putting forward the majority of my mini skeins are going to that. But I could not help with this project. I pulled out some mini skeins. A lot of them aren't labeled anymore, so I'm not sure where this first one came from. If you can see it, it's kind of like this bluish gray, and it's really pretty. It didn't even use up the full mini skein of it, so I still have some left that I don't even know. It won't be enough for like toes, heels, and cuffs, like a contrasting toes, heel, and cuff for a sock, but it could be like if I do like a stripy, scrappy sock, maybe that could be fun. And then the next area calls for stripes. And if you can see, I've got this green and a purpley brown. The purpley brown was another mini skein that came out of my stash of mini skeins. I'm pretty sure that was from last year's advent calendar by Stu Yarns, I think is her name. And the green for sure is from Zoe, who is the maker behind Felicity Dyeworks Studio. And yeah, I really like that. And then, of course, some Biff sugar yarn. I had some extras from some socks I had made in the past. So we have the Beatrice color up here on the top. I really like how this has come together. This has also been super potato chippy. I'm excited for like the next color. I have lined up my colors, so I have a plan in mind. And like I said, some mini skeins out of my stash of mini skeins, and also leftovers of sock yarn that I have used in the past. This is going to be something for Knitmas, which I've been working up towards Knitmas for a while. I feel like that's what I need to do if I'm going to get everything done in time, but a lot of people officially start Knitmas now. Like, since Halloween is over, it's time to focus on knitting and crocheting for Christmas gifts. So this is definitely going to be a special Christmas gift for a special family member. I'm really excited about it. I'm really excited to see how this will all knit up. I should show you this little bauble. I, of course, had to finish the last color that I was knitting on, the Beatrice. And so I left myself in this haphazard position on the needles here where basically it needs to start. I'm ready to cast on the next color. So my stitch marker is kind of a precarious position. But I want to show it to you still. If you can see that, I have this cute little sparkly bauble that was on my mini skeins, my mini skein advent calendar last year. It's really fun, really pretty, especially approaching the festive holiday season. So the Hearten One Cowl by Helen Stewart. Super excited to see how this will look. Oh, and by the way, this is it's a cowl, but it's a pretty long cowl. I think it almost borders on being called an infinity scarf because it is so long. It's so long that you can like double it over and wear it that way. Okay. What else is on the needles? My socks did not get a lot of attention this last couple weeks. Last episode, I showed you the Out of Rhythm socks by Christy Houghton, the maker behind Yarn Cafe Creations. And I had one finished sock, and I cast on for the next sock. It is a little bit hard to knit for myself now that I'm getting, plans solidified for Knitmas. But I love wearing hand knit socks so much. Oh my gosh. I do have a couple pairs for myself. I've made lots of pairs for other people. They are so cozy. They're so soft. I just love them. And of course they look adorable. So if you're lucky enough to, have hand knitted socks, or if someone makes you a pair of hand knitted socks, if you don't know, I'm telling you, consider yourself very fortunate, because socks take a while to make. And if you make them yourself, you know what I'm talking about. Socks take a little while to make. They're not an easy beginning knitter's project. And sock yarn is not the cheapest either. So anyways, blah, blah, blah. I have a cuff. So also, like I mentioned last episode, I am making these out of a Felicity dyeworks sock. What do you brain fart? What do you call a sock set? Oh my gosh. I'm making these out of Felicity dyeworks sock set, which contains the color cardinal, which is this red, and this yummy teal tweed, which is called Snow Globe. And together they make the Winter Wonderland sock set. You can see I cast on and did the ribbing for the cuff, and then ready to start knitting in the Snow Globe colorway. I have my adorable little gingerbread house stitch marker by Charmed and Dangerous. If you haven't checked out Charmed and Dangerous, be sure to do so. I think she just makes the cutest little charms. Yesterday, she put out the November Charm Club pre-orders, and I was able to get a spot. They're already sold out, so if that's something that interests you, she last Christmas she had a little box set where you bought it, and it came with the 4 little Christmas charms all at once. But I know at least for this November Charm Club, you buy it, and they're going to come in 2 different shipments. So you get 2 charms near the beginning of November and 2 charms near the end of November. Super cute. So, Out of Rhythm socks. Hopefully, I will force myself to knit socks for myself so I can get on to knitting more socks for Knitmas. Okay, I think that's it for my knitting and crochet works in progress. I do have a cross stitch work in progress. Now, I know for sure last episode I had not even started this. This is the Dimensions cross stitch footprints. This is what it looks like. And what it's going to say is, footprints. He spoke, my precious child, I love you and would never leave you. When you saw only one set of footprints, that was when I carried you. And you can see it's got the little seashells and some footprints off in the ocean. So a nice little kit that I specifically bought for my husband's grandmother. And just a nice, cute, quick little cross stitch that I'll make. And yes, this is what I have so far. I think that I'm basically halfway through. If you can kind of tell from the colory blobs, we have the seashells with the surrounding sand. I think obviously things will come together more as the back stitches come on and kind of put the detailing pieces on it. But this has been nice and fun. It feels relatively simple, I think, because it's small. And I've enjoyed it. I can definitely take pleasure from the small cross-stitch kits and the large cross-stitch kits. This will be really nice also because a little bit of quick gratification, as I should be finishing it pretty soon. I bet I could probably finish it by the next podcast. I don't know. If not, I would probably be coming close. So we'll see. But that's been fun. Okay, the next thing I want to show you is a yarn acquisition. And this is something that is very near and dear to my heart. Some of you may be familiar with Amy Florence of the Stranded podcast. Wow, words today. She is the host of the Stranded podcast, and she's the maker behind the Stranded dyeworks yarn. So this is actually last year's Christmas colorway, and it is called Gingerbread House. And I have been eyeing this since then. I don't exactly remember why I didn't buy it last year. I think probably because I had just spent so much money already on yarn last Christmas, and this is hard to get a hold of too. So this year I really set my sights on getting my hands on one of these. She said it was going to be in her shop update, and when she announced when her shop was going to be updating, I literally had to make an alarm on my phone. And because for me it was like 11 a.m. in the morning for me, for Pacific Central Time, that's not a thing. Whatever my time zone is, PST, Pacific Standard Time, that's it. So I think for her in England, it was like 7 in the evening, but for me it was 11 in the morning, and I knew I was going to be at work, and it's that really weird time, it's not quite lunchtime. I knew like I would be working, so I set my alarm for like 5 minutes to 11 so that I could scurry off into the break room and go buy yarn. And so that's what happened. I was able to, in between seeing patients, I was able to go off into the break room and get on my phone, and I was updating, refreshing up until the moment. Like I was there at 10:56, 10:57, 10:58, 10:59, refresh. 11 a.m. comes. I click on buying this one. This is the only thing I chose to. So the sock weight yarn, it is 75/25 merino nylon. So I bought it, I purchased it, I checked out. By the time I was checked out, it was 11:01, and the rest of this yarn was sold out. Yeah. I was feeling very, very fortunate that I managed to get this. I have seen this knit up, and I think here on the skein, it's kind of separated, right? The browns are over here, the colors are over here, but I really like seeing this knit up, like I've seen online and Instagram and stuff, and how it just kind of all blends together. It really does give this gingerbread house vibe with these pops of candy colors, and oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I might have to track down like a nice Christmas red. I think that would look really nice as a contrast. I don't know, but I'm really excited about this. Okay, I think that is it for today. Hopefully I've been managing this new equipment. I hope the sound has been okay. I know I've kind of accidentally bumped my microphone a few times. Let me know what you think down in the comments. I also would just love to connect with you guys. You can always find me on Instagram at adventureswithyarn.com. You can find me on Instagram at adventureswithyarn. You can also find me at adventureswithyarn.com. That is a social media platform that my husband has helped me come up with. It is a free site. You do have to sign up though, and then you can use it for free, and it's a really fun way to connect with others and show your pictures of your crafts. And I also post things on there that I don't always post on other social media. I really think that the adventureswithyarn.com platform is much smoother than the forums on Ravelry. You know how like on Ravelry you get like a good discussion going, and replies to a certain post, they don't like stay with that post. Instead, they just get categorized down with the more recent posts. And to me, I find that really annoying. So yeah, on adventureswithyarn.com, it's the layout is kind of a little bit like Facebook in that you have, you know, your discussions, and then if there's a reply, it's right underneath of that post. Adventureswithyarn.com also has like some fun GIFs you can put in and emojis, and I would really encourage you guys to check it out. If you do, wave at me, come say hi. All right, you guys, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you next time. All right, bye.